What's good, yo? Welcome to episode 43 of Making Gains TV with my man Santiago Martinez. How are you?
I'm doing great. Got done with the workout with you.
Word. That was a tough one. Carly gets after it.
She does.
Tell me where you're from.
Well, I was born in Colombia. Came when I was 7 to Florida, and currently in Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania.
The Commonwealth. Good old Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. One of my college coaches used to make fun of me like that. He's like, "You're representing the Commonwealth now." I'm like, what is that?
What does that even mean?
I still don't know what it means, but that was an opportunity to recycle his joke.
There you go.
Shout out to Coach McNulty, wherever you are. Cool. So what do you do now? You're a young professional stud muffin.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I have a plate full, but wrestler, in real estate, and I have a part-time job with Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Cool. And with the Lehigh Valley Health Network, you do something pretty cool with the kids, right?
Yeah. No. So it actually was based all from wrestling. The role was created because of wrestling connections and stuff. So I actually help out with street medicine.
Okay.
I helped them put a street symposium together, international symposium, and street medicine is pretty much you're taking medicine to homeless populations. And
so I was like completely off. I was way off.
Not good.
Because I'm a kid from the streets. So then you said streets, and I thought kids.
And then these homeless people sometimes were kids when they're younger, so it makes sense. You know?
There might have been a kid once or twice, but now they're older. That's awesome. So obviously wrestling's a passion. That's why you're on the show with us today for being the. You get to announce it. I don't want to take your boy.
Colombian National Champ.
That's awesome, man. You're like, I know a handful of national champions, and you're one of them.
Yeah.
Caroline Doty, shout out to her. She won a bunch of UConn women's basketball national championships, and that might be it. I don't know, like her and her friends. I probably could dig some up, but let's talk about you. So let's talk about your style as a wrestler, wrestler.
Yeah.
What's your style like? What do you?
I feel like it's always changing. Like I want to say college, I was more like just kind of like push. Just really physical. I feel like even the last weeks, what I was telling you earlier, I feel like I've started to kind of like connect things a little bit more movement, more like 3-dimensional, more like bringing them to me and like picking
get them right where you want them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the animal, your prey. That's amazing. Like, I would imagine that's how like Tom Brady feels. Like, safety's right where I want him.
Bam.
Gronk.
Yeah.
It's almost unfair. But everyone's got the same 24 hours in a day, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you talked about college. Where'd you go to school?
So it's been a pretty, I guess, unorthodox road. I started right after high school. I started wrestling pretty late. I started as a sophomore, and even then, like the wrestling coaches weren't great or anything. Not a big wrestling background. So during high school, I took 5th my junior year, took 3rd my senior year. So it wasn't
in like the state and the
states,
league.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's that at? Florida.
Florida.
Okay.
Yep,
it's a huge state. So
yeah, but
it's pretty. Or do they break it up into like smaller regions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like your districts, region, and then that's when after you go to states.
But do they do like the whole state? Because that's like, it counts almost as like 3 states. It's so good.
Yeah.
Because like New Jersey, they don't do, when they have a state championship for like football, they don't have like just one outright state champion. They have like a state champion, region,
different
2,
classes,
north. And it's like, there's almost 6 state champions.
For football's a little different too, right? Because there's like
in Pennsylvania, there's one for each. So like, each like size of your school. So 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A. There's one guy that wins it. Like the state championship is this weekend. In Pennsylvania. It was last weekend for Jersey, but they also had like a bye weekend there. So it's so PA plays a lot more football to get to an outright state champion, one and only, versus like New Jersey kind of has sections and their state's smaller. But Florida, I would imagine like all of the wrestlers in Florida, if you're third, like that's a whole lot of juice, to be up at the top.
No, so they actually do break it up with different classes too.
Okay.
So they have like 1A, 2A, 3, and then we went from 2A, which is like middle, to 3A because the school got bigger. So
cool.
From junior, senior year. But I mean, like right out of school, even as a third placer as a senior year, there wasn't like much, like hype about going anywhere. Ended up going to like school in Missouri. They're NAIA. They're going Division II. After the first year, this wasn't a great fit.
Yeah.
And ended up coming back to Florida, Central Florida. That's where I ended up wrestling the last 3 years for my
UCF.
Central
Nice.
Florida. Yep.
Nice.
And then that was actually club. So it's like kind of like going back.
Taking a step back.
Wow. But then that's where I got like all my confidence. That's where just like I had a pretty good setting in a sense, just because we called it a gladiator house.
Yeah.
And this is where some of the like toughest guys would be, and like from different countries. There's like Cuba. There was
where you live, like your off-campus home was the gladiator house.
And it was like you lived with
that's
your coach.
Quite the cockiness. I love it. That's confidence. That's building the mindset.
Yeah, no, certainly.
You mean I can't live here if I'm not a gladiator? What if I'm a warrior? Where's that house?
That's like down the block, but they don't train as hard.
Oh, take that to the warrior house. Kick rocks, bro. That's awesome.
No, but I mean, like even as a club wrestler, I just picked up a ton of my level there, and I graduated from UCF, and then ended up taking my last year of NCAA clock and wrestling at Lehigh.
Awesome.
So I was able to. At UCF, I won 2 national championships.
Hey.
And then at Lehigh, I ended up taking. I took second at EAWA as a conference, and then qualified to nationals.
That's dope.
So, yeah.
That's that step back really like catapulted you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. People usually think like it's the picture gets how it's painted always is like you're just always the star and then you become like the best.
Yeah.
Whereas like most of the time it's like a Rocky story, like you gotta go here and there and backwards, and then like adversity, there's always like something that makes it a tough road. So even like getting to Colombia was like beef. What happened there?
Oh,
was
man.
adversity.
So I ended my college career in a sense at Lehigh, and then that's the next move. I knew I wanted to continue wrestling. It's a different style, but I knew I wanted to continue wrestling. So I was looking to see what the process is.
Yeah.
So different. So I ended up going to Colombia. I went to one of their national tournaments. I went to one of their national tournaments. I ended up taking second to one of their tough guys. I went to their national tournament.
How long ago was that tournament?
That was like 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
And then they have they're called national games, which is like their mini Olympics.
Okay.
Right? And that was that same year. And I ended up going to that, and they didn't even let me wrestle. There was just, it's so much politics, so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's a whole process that obviously I didn't know about.
Okay.
They accepted me going, and then last minute, because I was tough and they didn't want somebody.
They found something to get you out.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it sucks on your side, but like kudos to that dirty coach. It's like, wait a minute. He didn't dot the I. You're out. You're out. And then like, hopefully his
kids didn't even play.
Yeah, as you're saying, like it's usually the guy that's not gonna be that good anyway. That's gonna find some like crap versus just wrestling the best people there. And, like,
exactly.
It's always that guy that just is that guy. Yeah. Cool. So that's 3 years ago, and then
3 years ago, and so there's this whole process. If you've competed for the U.S. before, then you have to almost pay a $5,000 fine in order to transfer nationalities.
Dang.
Yeah. And then that fine is you're only able to like pay it in the month of December. So it's like all this
get everybody
little
during
things.
Christmas when they know it was broke. They're trying to get that holiday money from you. That's cold. I couldn't handle all these rules.
I know.
It's tough for me just listening to them.
Yeah, and I learned one of them. I learned that the December month thing like in March or April, like when it just passed, So it obviously it's like a learning process, but
You said a little bit of ACL. You coming back from that?
Yeah. So the second year out of school, ended up tearing my ACL in June, so I didn't compete the rest of that year. And well, because of that, I just didn't make that transfer. Wasn't able to kind of like make it happen till this year. Finally, making that transfer over. Finally, like won their nationals. Just crossing my T's, dotting my I's this time.
Getting that money in for December 31st.
Yeah.
So like, what's your support system been like? Who's like with all that? Like, somebody had to be like, oh, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Oh man, no. So I'd say Tina, like my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's been extremely supportive. There's like with sports after college or even after high school, things become very doubtful. Like now it's like, hey, you got to pay your bills. You got to do this. Like, oh, is wrestling going to be your career? There's just all these doubts that come in. And she's just been like my rock.
That's
so
awesome.
many different levels.
Shout out to Bay.
Yeah.
Tell him to put a ring on it. Get you a rock. I'll get you a rock, babe. Good for her. Good for her. It's amazing. Awesome. So, talk about advice. What kind of advice do you have for the next, Olympian, national champion, and kind of what's like a gem you could drop on the Metal Army out there in YouTube land?
So I'd say just like keep on pushing. There's so many doubts that come in. There's so many obstacles. Keep on growing. Those obstacles are kind of what makes you. To just like the further you get along, is look at it as a challenge and continue pushing.
That's awesome, baby.
Yeah.
You keep making gains, son. You keep making gains too.
Hit that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. Subscribe to the channel. But for now, signing off from Making Gains TV.